So, ladies, I have an update. I know we've done a lot of conversations about health, and I've been very vulnerable and out in the open and everything about my health. And this was a while ago, we talked about advocating for yourself and how I felt my original family doctor just saw my high cholesterol, wanted to put me on a statin, and that was it. Life was going on, and bye bye, see you later. And how I found a second one who was more um, caring, I want to say, listened. I felt seen, listened, and the whole thing. And he did a slew of tests on me, like slew, like there was 6 or 8 vials of blood taken from me for this blood test. So my liver, top notch. My blood counts, blood, red and white, top notch. My thyroid, top notch. My cholesterol is so freaking bad. He did a deep dive into my cholesterol, and um, and please don't ask me names. I have no clue. I'm not pulling up my report because I can't even pronounce the names of them. Those cholesterol markers were off the chart. I'm actually a walking time bomb for either a heart attack or a stroke. Even though I had the cardio calcium buildup on my heart um, test done, and it showed no calcium. And he says that can be very true. It does not mean though that you um, are out of the clear. And the cholesterol that is bad in my body is actually hereditary. It's purely hereditary. My mother has had a heart attack and he had to have a stent in. My brother never had a heart attack, but he did have to have a bypass, and I don't know how many of his valves had to be replaced. My saving grace has been because I am such an advocate and I do work out consistently and that I try to eat as healthy as I can without cheating and the whole aspect of things, though I'm not perfect. So, at the age of 66, I've gone on my first medication. I am on a statin. Um, I wrote out the name and I don't have it in front of me. It is the lowest dosage. Um, I will be very honest. When he sat there and told me this, I just sat there and cried. I felt like a failure. I felt awful. I felt like I let myself down. I let my children down. The feelings and the emotions were unbelievable. And he was kind. He sat there and we talked for a good 20 minutes. And he said, I actually have done probably the best that I could have done. I'm now at the point where I don't have to take the drug. I could wait to take the drug, but we talked about all the negative press a statin gets. And he said, yes, that's off of one test, not one test, I'm sorry, one study. And it is done to people who already have either a heart attack or a stroke.
Mm.
So they're already at a point of there's strikes against them. So because you have the stroke or because you have the heart attack, you might not be able to move your body as much or do all of this stuff. So we're going at it more as a preventative than a reactive, proactive instead of reactive of this drug. So I am on a 5 milligram at this point. I can't even see the pill because it's so freaking tiny. And then I had to add 2 supplements to my supplement regimen. And he knows that I want to, how I work out. He knows I lift heavy. He knows everything. And there is no stopping. He doesn't want me to stop any of that. And I'm adjusting my eating plan to be more on the Mediterranean way of eating, the Mediterranean diet and that aspect. Very little processed food, a lot of grains and vegetables and leaner meats and all of that aspect. Only one egg yolk a day, do a lot of egg whites. Um, and in 6 months, nope, nope. I had to think that through. I think the beginning of May, I go have that exact same test done again. We see how the cholesterol has moved and to see, hopefully we don't have to up the dosage. And yep, see where life takes me right now.
Okay, so okay. So the original doctor did have it right,
He had it right, but
but he didn't tell you in a way that made sense to you.
yes.
Okay, because I want to be clear that even though he might have, because now you really know exactly
Now
what's
I
going on,
understand the reasoning behind what I have to do. I
as opposed to
understand,
here, take a pill and
yes,
shut your mouth.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we discussed that whole thing too. And he doesn't know what he would have prescribed for
Right.
me. He's like, we all go to the same school, Michelle. And I'm like, yeah. And I said to him, I feel seen and I feel heard.
Yeah.
That gentleman, maybe we just was oil and water,
Right.
because when I said, I'm not sure, he's like, well, you're going to have a heart attack. And
Right.
that's where my, like, what? Stop. Like, stop. Because I've always been told over here, no, because of these things, you don't. Now, I think in the episode previous, I had talked that I went on two supplements, the red rice yeast and berberine. Those did bring down my cholesterol. We saw some droppage in my cholesterol, but it was the bad cholesterol that is just so off the charts that he's like, you are going to have a heart attack. He's like, I'm going to tell you now. You're going to either have a stroke or a heart attack. I don't know when. I can't say you'll have it tomorrow, a year, 5 years.
Right.
I don't know. But as I've gone through my journey with cancer and now BRCA2, I've always done things that have been preventative instead of be more proactive and then reactive. So, and then when I sat down and had these conversations with my boys, because I felt like, because I've always advocate for being healthy and don't just jump on a drug and the whole thing. Um, I felt like I even let them down, and they were both like, "What? No, this is still proactive, mom." They would have been, if I ignored it, they would have been more upset than making the choice I made. So even though the outcome is the same, I feel much better on from this doctor, like I said, than the other one. And it came down to being seen, being heard, and advocating, understanding. Like I mean, he took off his stethoscope. He just sat there and he pulled up studies to show me how taking this beforehand is more proactive than having it after a heart attack. And like he's like, you go on this website, this is what you have to read, this is what you have to do. So that was very helpful in the whole thing.
But also you buy into it. Like you buy into it where the other guy, what's the difference in if you buy into it, you're going to commit yourself to it. You're
Right.
going to make sure you take your pill daily and all of that stuff. So even though it is the same medical outcome, I think it's a completely
Yeah.
different outcome up here.
I I feel like I still advocated for myself.
Yeah.
I feel like
And knew your options or
yes.
of
Yeah.
options, whatever you want to call
Right.
it.
So one of the things I also had to do, so he also checked my vitamin D level. I think I told you guys that. So we had to change it. My vitamin D level is in the range, but it's on the lower part of the range. And a woman postmenopausal, um, for osteoporosis and the whole thing, he had me go on D plus K supplements. So I now take that also. So it's a D plus a K in the same supplement. So I do that also, and I have to take COQ10 that also helps the statin. But those are supplements. It's not a, you know. So yeah. So my, you all know and love Helen. Helen knows we've had a discussion that she even had like a pre-test for me to go through, not physically, just answering a series of questions to confirm my level of um, risk, my level of risk in the workout I do, and I'm at a low level and all of that. So that's where I stand.
Well, I think it's a
Does
good update.
Yeah, I do too. I think the biggest part circles back to the fact that when you advocate for yourself, regardless of what that outcome is, you are going to get a better picture and get the answers that you're looking for
Mhm.
to see, to be seen, to be heard, to have a voice, because it's you they're talking about. So even though the first doctor, like you said, Tracy, like gave you the same result as what this doctor gave, it came about in a totally different way.
And he would
And
Yeah.
always be
that's what's
questioning it
important.
too, right?
Yeah.
Well, I've been like I've heard people say, "Oh, I'm on this medicine," and I've been involved in conversations, not me personally, but I've heard conversations where people say, "Oh, hi, hey, I'm on this and this now," and they'll be like, "Well, like why? I don't know. My doctor just told me to take
Yeah.
it." I think that's the part that gets me.
Hmm.
Like, this is your body, you don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, well, and so I read some of the side effects because, we have a side effect to a side effect to a side effect. And I felt some of it a little bit. So in having conversations with my trainer, we're adding a little bit more stretching in it because it's muscle fatigue and it's joint pain. So adding more stretching or doing more of that type of stuff or rolling out or whatever to help alleviate that instead of taking another medication to alleviate joint pain.
Yeah. Yeah. Has this affected your decision to do the race?
Um, it has been in the back of my mind
Hmm.
on it, so there is always that fear. Um, but um, I'm I wrestle with, is it just fear, like the doctor told me not to stop. My trainer told me not to stop. Like no one's told me not to stop at all. Like the doctor loves the fact that I rock. He knows the miles I have to put on. He knows the poundage. And he's like, no, I see no reason for you to stop that. So, um, and I see him in May also. So, in having the conversation with Jason, if I get there and I just feel not sure about it. He's like, "Ma, we'll just drop you down and you'll go into the walking part of it." Like, I'll do that in 20 minutes. So if I go from the walk, which is a half hour, to a 20-minute, it's still doing the race. Like the
Hmm.
doctor has not told me to stop at all
Yeah.
any form of exercise.
Hmm.
The only thing he has asked me to be more diligent on is watching processed foods, sugar intake, alcohol intake, which is no problem on that aspect because I pretty much have quit drinking. Um, you know, just making sure you get the grains, the protein, and the fiber. That's what helps clear out, keeps just clearing out all of the cholesterol, I guess. Yep. So
Well, I think it's good. I think it's positive.
Yeah.
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 And
yeah,
and like you said, you're still being proactive.
Yeah.
You're still taking care of you.
yeah. So I guess it comes down to, like you guys said, just being the advocate, you know, the advocacy for yourself, understanding,
Mm.
I feel the doctor should answer whatever questions you have
Mhm.
for you to understand what is going on. It is your body. I totally believe in doctors. I totally believe in Western medicine. I don't believe in pill popping. So I'm going to tell a funny story. I have two boys. You guys know that. Jason is the one I do the races with. We're very similar in our eating habits. We're very similar in our exercise. We're all that. Michael is my oldest. Doesn't work out. Eats whatever he wants. The whole thing. He has perfect cholesterol. Jason is just like me. So yeah. So we have
Not
I
fair.
That's funny. Oh,
Oh, we lost her.
we lost her. What just happened?
I don't know. Hopefully she'll come back here in two
Yeah.
secs.
That is funny, eh? That, the one that doesn't really make an effort towards it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that happens a lot, right? You see people who are, somebody who's trying to lose weight and somebody who just sits there and like mouths down on all the worst stuff and is a beanpole. Like it's
Yeah.
just, you think, how is that fair? We
okay,
lost you.
I know you can put that together, right, Tracy?
We're just continuing on.
I know. It's not my day. So yeah. So and here's the funny thing. My partner, the same thing. He's just like my son Michael. Perfect cholesterol. The whole thing. I'm like, but according to the doctors, it's hereditary. So Jason and I got the same gene.
Mm.
Michael, no, not so. But anyways, so that's my update. So viewer, advocate. If you have questions, ask your questions.
Mhm.
Don't go deep diving in the internet because that will scare the heck out of you.
Yeah.
But you can go out there to ask, like, I would, if you wanted to Google what questions should I ask if I have high cholesterol, items such as that, to help you understand questions to ask. But don't self-diagnose out there. Just please don't. So viewer, will you go and advocate for yourself at your next doctor's appointment? Are you afraid to ask your doctor a question, or do you just take what the doctor says and go with it? Let us know in the comments. If you feel someone should hear this story, please make sure you share this video, hit subscribe and like, and hit notifications so you know when the next episode comes out. Until next time.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.